There's your sugar push, your underarm pass. Side pass. I'll do another side pass with a hand switch now. Switching right to right. Switching back. Another sugar push. Cuddle whip. Cuddle, that was the cuddle whip basic. Then the cuddle whip with the arch turn. Then a sugar push basic again. And a close whip. Close whip with the arch turn. Then a sugar push basic. And a close whip with a loop turn. And we can just play from there. And in later lessons, hopefully you'll learn tuck turns such as this, or tuck turns with a ladies loop. And a cuddle whip. Man spins on a lot of patterns. And a loop. Thank you very much, Linda.
Thank you.
And I want to demonstrate for you a little bit of beginner West Coast swing movement on the dance floor. We're going to go through basically 4 or 5 movements that you must learn when you first learn West Coast swing, specifically the sugar push, an underarm pass, a side pass, your cuddle whip, and your close whip, and we'll do a couple of minor variations off of those. Let's get started right off here by showing how to get into the sugar push pattern. Now when we stand in the West Coast swing, what we want to do is to stand straight up, shift your weight over to man's right foot, ladies on her left foot, and have that foot ready to go. Lady should be leaning back a little bit from the man, a little bit, exactly, a little bit of resistance. The arms are level. The hand cups into the ladies fingers over the man, and we're going to walk for 2 steps. Let's just walk 2 steps, okay, and we'll stop. I'm going to walk, walk, right here. That's the first 2 steps of the 6-count sugar push. Now we're going to work with 3 different rhythms here, by the way. The sugar push is rhythm 1. It's called a walk, walk, touch, step, triple. There are variations to this rhythm which you can get into later in an advanced beginner series or intermediate series. Right now, let's just do a walk, walk, and a touch, step. Now, I'll show the touch step. We'll walk through the pattern, and then we'll break it down and show you how to do it. We'll take both hands for now, Linda, okay? Here we go. Walk, walk, touch, step, and anchor, step. That's your triple step or your 6-count pattern. Let's do that one more time. Walk, walk, touch, step, triple step, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Now, there are 2 different options to this. Let me show real quick what the lady's doing here. The lady's walking forwards for 2 steps, 1, 2. She's bringing that right foot in. She's dragging that right foot into what we call the 3rd position. Okay? 3rd position, stepping back on 4, then coming back with her left foot for her 5 and 6 and doing a rocking motion, 5 and 6 right here as such. So she goes forwards 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. The man does basically the same thing, except he goes forwards for 2, or backwards for 2 rather. Excuse me, he goes back 1, 2, he brings his foot in. On 2, he may choose to leave it out here. Some people do that and lean forward slightly. Okay, so we're going to walk back 1, 2, men, bring the foot in on 3, have our weight forwards, and become a barrier or a wall here for the lady to push off of. That's 3. The resistance happens on 3. The lady pushes away on 4, you step forward, and then do your 5 and 6 basically in place. So let's do that one more time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Now, it's important that when you come together on count 3 here, on that touch step, that we both lean slightly in, therefore creating some resistance for the lady to get some support to push off of. 1, 2, resist, push, 5, and 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay? Let's try that to a little bit of music. This is your basic sugar push. you notice that we're not traveling backwards like this right now. This is what happens a lot. The man will continually travel back. This is a no-no, gentlemen. And the reason how I can avoid doing this is coming back up in here. When I set my place on the floor and we do this slot, set our slot on 4, I come back right where I started. 1, 2, I step forwards on 4 where I started and stay there. All right, cut, thank you. All right, that's your basic sugar push. Okay, let's go into the underarm pass first. Now the underarm pass, the man does a different step than the lady here. So I'm going to break the lady step down here first and then we'll show the man step. What the lady's going to do here, and then again, there are a lot of different variations to these patterns out. And you may choose one or other style or variation, whichever you prefer or what suits you best as you learn the different methods of doing these patterns. The first one I'm going to call the lady's pattern. She's going to walk forwards 1 and 2. Now on 3, she's going to start turning to her left, bringing her right foot out and going to the side. Side. She's going to bring her left foot in front, commonly referred to as a French cross. That's 3. Or that's the and rather of 3. 1, 2, that's 3 and. This is 4 is back. And then 5 and 6 is back into your anchor step again. So the lady, one more time, she walks forwards. Walk with me, Linda. Here we go. 1, 2, 3 and 4, 5 and 6. Like I said, there are other variations, but right now let's keep this relatively basic so we can get through the intermediate or the beginner patterns. Now I'll walk through the lady's pattern or demonstrate it, and then I'll break the man's pattern down. Here's the lady's pattern again. 1, 2, 3 and 4, 5 and 6. 1, 2, 3 and 4, 5 and 6. Okay, on the subject of the lady, the important thing that has to happen is that turning motion. The other thing that has to happen with that French cross, the other thing that must happen is when the lady's arm comes into place right here, the arm is still parallel here, this right side. Let's turn around so the camera can see this better. Walk into this again. 1, 2. Now right here, I'm going to step back out of the way. Right here, the lady's arm is still parallel, and this hand is beginning to frame in front of her. It's starting to frame over her head. Ladies, what you should do, aim this hand down towards your left shoulder as you start turning, and as you turn, it should come down into the waist, and then it'll come right into your waist as you go into the end of your pattern. 5 and 6. 1, 2, 3 and 4, 5 and 6. 1, 2, 3 and 4, 5 and 6. Okay? Let's put those two together. And then I'll break the man step down. Sugar push and a lady's underarm pass. 2, 3 and 4, 5 and 6. Great. Okay, men, here's what you're doing on this lady's underarm pass. You're doing basically a T-step. You're stepping back on 1. Okay, back and a little bit to your side. What I do is I turn about 1/8 of a turn, gentlemen. I turn about 1/8 of a turn as I lead the lady forwards. I do not step real far over out of the way. I step back a little bit and turn a little bit. Just back a little bit and turn. That's when the lady comes forwards on 1. That's 1. Now on 2, I step forwards and cross, commonly referred to as a T-step. Forward on 2. Now I'm going to do a touch step here. 3 and 4, I step around, and then 5 and 6. So let me break just a man step down. Okay, so gentlemen, I step back on 1 and turn about 1/8 of a turn. Cross on 2. That's 1/8 of a turn. Now I do another 1/8 of a turn and touch on 3. That's where the lady is starting to pass. Step around on 4 onto the other side, and then come back into the slot on 5 and 6. So from this angle, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Now another variation for that for you gentlemen, this is still rhythm 1. We could use rhythm 2, which is what the lady is doing now. She's doing walk, walk, triple, triple. You could also do this here, gentlemen, by going 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5, and 6. So you may also do triple, triple there as well. Let's put the music on and do both those patterns back to back, and then we'll do the side pass. 6. All right, all right. Okay, good. Now, the next pattern, real simple, it's a lady side pass. There's several ways to do this as well. And the nice thing about this dance is when you learn a basic, there are a lot of variations which make the dance very interesting and exciting. One thing I didn't explain, I should have at the very beginning of the class, it is a slot dance. The lady is the one that moves up and down the slot, not deviating from this space in here. She dances where the man stands, back and forth. The man consistently goes around her all the time. He's one that moves out of the way. Ladies, what I say is, if the man doesn't move out of the way, run into him. Don't dance around the man. Okay, so the next pattern is called a side pass. Let me show it here first, and then I'll break the lady step down, and then the guys. The lady's going to do basically the same footwork here as she did with the underarm pass. The only thing is, I'm not coming over here and giving her over the head turn. I'm bringing her by my left side. 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5, and 6. 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5, and 6. Okay, now how we do that, gentlemen, is we can do that right to right or left to left. One way that I like to, if I want to do right to right, and there are other variations that come off that, is I'll do an underarm pass first, 3 and 4, switching hands coming out of that. Now I'm ready to do a left side pass for the lady off of this right hand to right hand position. If I don't want to use the right hand to right hand position, come back over here, Linda. I can leave my left hand, my lead hand out. All I do is simply turn to my left. The fact that I turn to the left, she's going to start moving forwards anyway. What I do, however, is I bring the hand down somewhat so she knows that's all that's happening is a straight side pass. Okay, so I turn on 1, shift my weight on 2, I do my touch step, come in and touch on 3 as she does 3 and 4, 5, and 6. Let me break the man's step down now real quick. Again, gentlemen, I'm standing here. I turn to the left. There's 1. Shift my weight to 2. Come in and touch on 3. Then step and turn on 4 and do 5 and 6, which is the anchor in place in the slot again. Okay, so with the lady again, the side pass looks like this. 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5, and 6. Get over there. 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5, and 6. Amanda's walk, walk, touch, step, triple, step. So he's doing rhythm 1, which is walk, walk, touch, step, triple. She's doing rhythm 2, walk, walk, triple, triple, using her French cross method. Okay? Let's do all 3 of those patterns to the music real quick. Sugar push, underarm pass, and side pass. Another sugar push. Here comes a side pass. A sugar push. Here's an underarm pass, switching hands. And a side pass right to right. Side pass right to right again. Switch hands, back to sugar push. All right, good. Thank you. Okay, now those are some of your basic patterns. There are other basic beginner patterns using the 6-count rhythms. Now we have 2 more rhythms, or 1 more rhythm we need to teach for you real quick. We're going to rush through these as quickly as we can. We don't have a lot of time on this tape, but we'll get as much of them in as we can. We need to do an 8-count rhythm using a collar whip and a closed whip. All those patterns combined together make up a lot of the basics for your West Coast swing. And everything is a variation off of those until you get into syncopations and a lot of the fun movement. Okay, so an 8-count rhythm as opposed to a 6-count rhythm. An 8-count rhythm uses an 8-count pattern. We're going to just walk this in place. We're going to just do step, step, triple, step, 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 triple step. Now the man's going to do this with the woman. Let's do this again. I'll count it this time. It's 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Exactly. Now, we're going to first put that 8-count step pattern to what's called a cuddle whip. In this particular pattern, the first one we're going to do, the lady's going to come straight up the slot, and she's going to come straight back, no turning whatsoever, and I'll explain the coaster step here in a second. Let me show this here real quick first. We're going to do 1, 2, triple step, walk, walk, triple step. What happens here now, the lady has to come forwards on the 1 and 2. She comes, and then she does a coaster step. That's a forward, forward, back coaster step, ladies. You're coming forwards 1, 2, then forward, 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 back. That's your 3 and 4. Then step back on your 5, 6, and then do your 7 and 8 anchor step in place. Okay? One more time. We're watching, we're concentrating on Linda's pattern here right now, then I'll explain the man's. We come forwards 1, 2, forward, forward, back, 5, 6, 7, and 8. The whole time the man goes around the lady. So here's what the man does now. The man starts his pattern off with both hands. He does his T-step, as in the underarm pass. He steps back on 1, starts bringing the hand up. That's the left hand. He does his T-step on 2. Lady comes forwards. Then when she does her 3 and 4 coaster step, he just simply changes sides, 3 and 4 to this side over here. Then on 5, he passes his right foot in front and past your partner. As she goes back on 5, you go forwards on 5 to the inside and turn. 5, 6, 7, and 8. Okay, one more time. 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. This is your cuddle whip. Let's try it to music one time. Then we'll do a variation. 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Sugar push. Underarm pass. Side pass. And cuddle whip. All right, thank you. Now, welcome back. We're doing West Coast swing. Sugar push is what we covered already. Getting rhythm here. I'm sorry, rhythm. There we go. All right, we've done sugar push, we've done underarm pass, we've done a side pass.
I'm sorry.
We've done a cuddle whip. And now we're going to do a cuddle whip with a lady's arch turn on the 5, 6, 7, and 8, keeping it real clean. And here's how that's done. You do the basic cuddle. Lady steps on 5, turns 6, 7, and 8's her anchor. All right, now we're going to take that basic whip concept and go right into the closed whip. Closed whip basic. Lady steps and turns on 1 and 2, coaster step, 5, 6, back in place. Keeping her slot. The guy's right foot's the pivot point. 6, 7, and 8. 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Great. Let's break that down real quick for him. Okay, we'll break that down real quick. One more on this cuddle whip now with the lady's arch turn on the 5 and 6, 7, and 8. A single arch turn is what we're doing here first. I'm going to do 1, 2, 3, and 4 and stop right there. Okay, this is kind of important. Remember, the lady comes forward. The guy does his T-step here back, and he crosses on 2. He does 3 and 4. On 5, he brings her back. Notice the hand stays up here in front of the lady. When you're going to do an arch turn, step back on 5, turn 6 and 7 and 8. One more time. 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Okay, great. And that should pretty much do that pattern. Let's move right along here into this closed whip. On the closed whip, the important thing, the difference on the closed whip for the guy, his right side is open. That's important for the lady. He will signal her by leading her forwards on 1. He steps back. He brings his hand up to grab her on 2. She has to step and turn right away. You got to step a little bit sooner, Linda. You got to turn a little bit sooner. You step on 1 and turn at the same time. So you're here on 2, right here. Okay, your right foot should still be out in front of you here. 1, 2. Okay, bring the right foot in front. Okay, out here on the line. Okay, that's where she would be on 2. Ready for her coaster step. 1, 2. Excuse me, we just lost my TV. Minor technical difficulties here. Come back. Now let's do the 1, 2. This time, Linda's going to do step on the 1 and 2, and then she's going to do her coaster step on the 3 and 4. What I do is just dance back around into the slot on the 3 and 4, doing my triple. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now she's aiming her feet between my legs. Her weight shifted over on her right foot. Mine's back on my left, and we're going to step and turn 5, 6, 7, and 8. Let's turn around so they can see that from the other side. 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Great. Now, a variation on that closed whip is a lady's arch turn, much like the arch turn on the cuddle whip, except that the lady's turning making a right turn, okay, as the same as before, but she's stepping 2, 3, and 4. She's stepping on 5 as though I'm going to pass her. The guy brings his hand up, 5. She turns 6, 7, and 8 is the anchor. Okay, let's do that one time non-stop. 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Now, the second variation to the closed whip is the lady's loop turn. She steps 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now, right here on 5, or going at the end of 4, the guy will bring his right foot this time to the inside, bring the hand up in front of the lady, start framing her. That's 5, 6 she turns, 7, and 8. So it's 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Okay, now let's try that to music one time. We'll do the closed whips, the basic closed whip, the closed whip with an arch turn, the closed whip with a loop turn. We'll preface this with a sugar push. All right, closed whip, basic. Closed whip with a loop, arch turn rather, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Closed whip with a loop turn. And another sugar push. All right, great. And that is the West Coast swing material, beginner level. We just covered. We'll go through the whole dance one time, all the patterns. Let me turn the music off and I'll explain what we did. All the basic patterns, beginner patterns, included the sugar push. That was the first pattern. Then we did an underarm pass. That was the second pattern. Then we did a side pass. That was the third pattern. And a cuddle whip. Cuddle whip variation was the arch turn. Then we did the closed whip. Those are 8-count patterns. Closed whip, basic. The closed whip with the arch turn. And the closed whip with a loop turn. Now, what we did not do in this class, beginner level, was the release break starting in the closed position. Okay, hopefully you can get that somewhere else down the road. I will demonstrate that with the patterns we're going to do now. I will demonstrate the release break starting in the closed position and then go through those patterns. There's your sugar push, your underarm pass. Side pass. I'll do another side pass with a hand switch now. Switching right to right. Switching back. Another sugar push. Cuddle whip. That was the cuddle whip basic. Then the cuddle whip with the arch turn. Then a sugar push basic again. And a closed whip. Closed whip with the arch turn. Then a sugar push basic, and a closed whip with a loop turn. And we can just play from there. And in later lessons, hopefully you'll learn tuck turns such as this, or tuck turns with a lady's loop. And a cuddle whip. Man spins on a lot of patterns. And a loop. Thank you very much, Linda.
Thank you.
And thank you.
starter step. And we started it with a triple to the left for the guy and to the right for the lady. And at this point, the gentleman is going to back out of the lady's way as she rocks, steps forward, and she did what we call a chair step, and then just anchored around. The main thing I kind of worked on with both the female males is the connection between the middle and ring finger, and resisting on the 3, and then catching the girl on the 4. A lot of them, just to kind of basically go over that, guys, if you don't catch the girl on the 4 to stop her momentum, as in a sugar push, we kind of went over this. If you don't resist here and then catch on 4 to stop her momentum, it makes her work very hard in the dance, and we get very tired. So you want to make sure you're helping her out on this anchor. So just to review that again, we'll do it from a different angle here. If your slot is this way, guys, you start across the slot. So we had 1 and 2, 3 and 4. Girls took a small rock, a larger step forward for 2. She pressed in for what we call the chair and a tuck. The gentleman's giving slight resistance. She's stepping slightly forward and then just rotating around that right foot. From here, we went into an underarm pass. Guys, step diagonally back for 1. Ladies, think through your partner. 2, 3, cross, 4, 5, and 6. And then we did another underarm pass, same thing. 1, 2, 3, cross, 4. Guys changed hands, 5 and 6. So they're looking across the slot, and ladies, you just changed hands with us. So let's do that from a different angle, just the underarm pass. So, gentlemen, you're actually changing hands on the floor like a 4 and. So you're going to go 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5, and 6. And just getting into a little bit on that underarm pass. Remember, gentlemen, that your lead is in the diagonal back. You don't have to pull. You're going with her momentum. So as you just step diagonally back, that's the lead there. And now you're just following her through, relaxing the hand. Ladies, you want to stay connected with the gentleman for 3 and connect back down. And we'll change the hands actually in that part. And then we do our anchor step. Main thing I had all the couples watch was the 4, all right, not moving on that 4. So from here, the guy did a little slingshot. He's going to take my hand and place it quickly into his left for 1, 2, 3, and 4. Ladies are sitting on an angle, and then we have just 5, 6, and 1. So you just step forward on that 1 there. Then we got into doing with a little of the head movement. So we had 1, 2, 3, and 4, and she's going to bring it forward. So all you do is accenting the swivel more. Now if you don't have hair, you can do it more with hitting it with your arm, or if the hair, you really want to start, it's more isolating the head, coming from this angle, you want to bring your head through, and then looking at the partner, okay? So one more time, let's do this, okay, Chris?
Okay.
We have 1 and 2. 3 and 4. 1, 2, chair 3, 4, 5 and 6, and 1, 2, 3 and 4, 5 and 6, and again, change the hand, 5, 6, and 1, 2, 3 and 4, 5, 6, and 1. Okay, that was great.
Intermediate West Coast swing class. Started doing from a sugar push, 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5, and 6. From here, we bring the lady in, 1, 2, we're going to turn and lead her to point and cross, 3 and 4, 5, 6. Then you lead back, 7 and 8 and 9, and then and 10, you step back on 10. You're going to bring her around, spinning her behind you guys, 1, 2, 3, and 4, both 5 and 6, catching right to right. We're going to bring her in, turning her on the 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, and 4. We're going to make a hand exchange, putting her into a wrap, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Guys, immediately lead her forward as you step across. 1, 2, duck her out, 3 and 4, both hands over your head, guys, 5 and 6. Then we're going into what some people refer to as a banana split, starburst. We're going to do 1, 2, 3, and 4. Guys, you're going to duck under your right hand, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right? If you have any questions, please give us a call at area.
We started out with a 12-count syncopation on a push step. We walked forward, walk, walk, and then did point and cross for 3 and 4. Kick out 5, cross over 6. We now do a coaster step. 7 and 8, running triple, 9 and 10, and a hooking anchor. 11 and 12. That was our first set. If we run all 12 of them together, it looked like this. Walk, walk, point and cross. Kick, cross, back together, forward, triple step, just like that. That was our first set of 12. We then went into...
We'll reverse it so you can see the other side better.
We then went into what's called a rock and go. This requires some leveraged positions from the man and from the lady so that we get a spring effect or a rubber band effect. It was a walk back, 2, 3, now on 4 I changed and I stepped out of the slot to my right.
She's normal so far.
On 5, I set on my left, 5, and I really anchor in here. She's got a 5 and she's going to feel the tension to pull forward, so she'll come forward and 6. Now I have not moved. On 7, I transfer my weight. 7, and we hit the opposite side sit check. She comes forward 8, and she's going to spin 9 and 10 while I tap step. 9 and 10, and then I'm going to finish the turn 11 and 12. We told you had a number of different ways that you could anchor that. Done all together, it looked like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, rock and go, triple step, triple step. The last pattern that we did was a reversing tuck. I take the lady in a normal tuck turn, but on 2 I'm going to bring a stronger lead to keep her turning to her left. 1, 2. She started a revolution. 3 and 4. At this point, she's caught with my right hand. She can't go any further, and I'm going to use that right hand to reverse the turn. 5 and 6. We then did split burst. 1, 2, tap, step, and I spun her 5 and 6 while I anchored. 5 and 6. That pattern looked like this. 1, 2, 3 and 4, 5 and 6, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. That's where we ended up in class. We thank you all for having us at the Atlantic Seashore. We look forward to seeing you again.
Swing, we did a triple step, back and together, and 1, 2, and 3, turn 4, 5 and 6. So one thing real quickly here, we did a triple step, back and forward. The girl has to do an and rock step. We rotate this guy as a hook side to get out of her way. She does a side cross, and 3. My left hand's presented her forward. I push her through 4, 5, and 6. We now do an underarm turn, back, 2, 3, and step. Side slot 4, roll 5, 6, staying weight on your back foot. Guys pointing right, ladies left. We do an and kick, ball change, take place of the 1, 2. Guys now do shuffle steps. 3 and 4. On 5 and 6, he shuffles again. She does and touch, and 1. We lead her down the ladder dance 1. We change hands again, 2 and 3, 4, 5, and touch. The whole thing looks like this from this angle. Triple step, back and together. 1, 2, and 3, turn 4, 5 and 6. 1, 2, and 3, step 4, 5 and 6, and kick, ball change, side and place cross, and 1, 2, and lunge, 4, 5, and point. That was West Coast Swing